All right, so we're back for another deep dive. And, we asked you guys to send in some English learning materials that you've been using and what you're struggling with.
Absolutely. Always love to hear what you guys are working on and where you're getting stuck.
Definitely. So we had a listener send in some stuff from this, looks like it's called EnglisPodcast, Day 15. Mm-hmm. And the topic is phrasal verbs, which, I think we all know these are tricky, right?
Oh, yeah. Phrasal verbs, they can be a real headache for English learners, for sure.
Yeah. There are these combinations of verbs and prepositions, or sometimes adverbs, and they create these whole new meanings that aren't always so obvious just from looking at the individual words.
Exactly. Yeah. Like sometimes you think you know what a word means, and then bam, it's paired up with a tiny little word, and the meaning goes out the window.
Right. Exactly. It can be so frustrating, especially when you're trying to understand native speakers in everyday conversations.
Absolutely.
So this English podcast thing, it looks pretty cool, actually. The listener mentioned that they use animated stories and real life examples to teach these phrasal verbs, and there are even memory tricks. So it sounds like a pretty fun way to learn.
That sounds engaging. Using different methods like that can definitely help make these tricky phrases stick.
I think so too. So what we thought we'd do today is sort of go through some of the specific phrasal verbs that were highlighted in that English Podcast Day 15 material and break them down for you, really unpack what they mean and how they're used. So maybe by the end of this, those phrasal verbs will feel a little less like a confusing jumble.
Sounds like a plan. I'm ready to tackle some phrasal verbs.
Okay, cool. So let's dive in. The first one on the list from that English podcast is turn up. It means to arrive or appear unexpectedly. And the example they give is, I lost my keys, but they turned up in the fridge.
Oh, that's a classic. I feel like everyone's had that moment where something's gone missing and then it magically reappears in the most random place.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Where do things even go when they disappear like that? It's a mystery. And the English podcast even has this cute little animation, they said, of keys popping out of the fridge, which is such a good visual.
Oh, yeah. That definitely helps you remember it. That unexpected pop really captures the essence of turn up, right?
Totally. So when something turns up, it basically just appears out of the blue. You're not expecting it. All right, the next one they've got is run out of, which means to have no more left of something. The example here is pretty dramatic. We ran out of coffee. Emergency.
Oh, man, that's a true nightmare scenario for a lot of people, isn't it? Especially first thing in the morning.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can totally relate to that panicked feeling. And the source mentioned something about a panicked barista animation too, which is just too funny. You can practically see the desperation.
Yeah, it definitely captures that feeling of sudden lack, right? It's not just that you don't have something, it's that you suddenly have none left and you need it now.
Totally, yeah. It's that moment when the supply just completely runs dry and you're left high and dry. Okay, next up is bring up, which means to mention a topic. The example is a classic office scene. Don't bring up, the budget boss is grumpy.
Oh, I've definitely been in situations where it's nope, don't mention that, bad timing.
Right, it's all about reading the room. And I love that they included an animation of the boss turning red. You can just imagine that happening.
Yeah, that visual really drives home the point that bring up isn't just about casually mentioning something. It often means introducing a potentially sensitive or controversial topic into the conversation, and the consequences might not be pretty.
Totally, you're deliberately bringing something to the forefront, and it might cause a reaction, so it's not to be used lightly. Okay, moving on to call off, which means to cancel. The example here is pretty straightforward. The game was called off due to rain.
Ah, yes, the dreaded rain delay. I feel like every outdoor event has that possibility hanging over it.
Seriously. Mm-hmm. You're all excited, and then boom, Mother Nature has other plans. And the English podcast, they have this image of sad soccer players in the rain, which just perfectly captures that feeling of disappointment when something's canceled.
Yeah, it really emphasizes the finality of it, right? The decision's been made, it's not happening, end of story.
Totally. No more playing. Okay, next up we have put up with. This one means to tolerate something, often something you don't particularly enjoy. And the example is, I can't put up with my neighbor's karaoke.
Oh, I feel like everyone's had a noisy neighbor experience at some point, haven't they? It's the ultimate test of patience.
Right. How much can you really take before you snap? And I love that they have this animation of earplugs for this one, because that's exactly what you want to do in that situation.
Exactly, yeah. It's about enduring something unpleasant, even if you'd rather not. It's like gritting your teeth and bearing it.
Totally, yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to block this out and just get through it.
Okay.
All right, the next phrasal verb is take after, which means to resemble someone in your family. And they use the example, she takes after her mom's same nose.
Oh, that's a classic one. Family resemblances can be pretty uncanny sometimes, can't they?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Sometimes it's like looking in a mirror from the past. And the English podcast, they actually have this side-by-side face comparison, which is so helpful, because it really shows you what it means to take after someone.
Yeah, that visual really makes it clear, doesn't it? You can immediately see the shared features and understand what take after is all about.
Right, like, oh, okay, I see it. The nose, the eyes, whatever it is. Okay, next up is look forward to, which means to be excited about something that will happen in the future. The example here is, I look forward to your reply.
Oh, that's a classic email sign-off, isn't it? A polite way to express your anticipation.
For sure. And they have this animation of an email flying to an inbox, which just perfectly captures that feeling of anticipation.
Yeah, that little visual really adds to the sense of eagerness and positive expectation that look forward to conveys.
Totally. It's like I'm sending this email and I'm excited to see what comes back, Okay, moving on to give up, which simply put means to quit. But the example they give here is a little bit funny. I gave up chocolate for 2 hours.
Ah, yes, the temporary surrender to temptation. We've all been there.
Oh my gosh, seriously. And their animation for this one is a melting chocolate bar, which is just perfect. Because it's like, yeah, you tried to resist, but that chocolate was just too much.
It perfectly captures the struggle, doesn't it? That internal battle between willpower and desire.
Totally. It's like, okay, I'm going to try to be good, but not chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay, second to last one from this set. Find out, which means to discover something. The example they give is Sherlock found out who ate the cookies.
Ooh, a little mystery. I always loved those Sherlock Holmes stories as a kid.
Right. Who doesn't love a good mystery? And the English podcast, they even have this cute little detail in the animation, a dog with crumbs.
Yeah.
So you can guess who the culprit was.
Oh, that's adorable. I love those little visual clues.
Yeah, it makes it so much more fun and memorable.
All right.
Last one for today, and then we'll wrap things up. We have go on, which basically means to continue. Their example is, your English is great, go on practicing.
That's a great message of encouragement, isn't it? It's important to keep that momentum going.
Definitely. And their little animation for this one is thumbs up, which is just so positive. It's like, you're doing great, keep it up.
Yeah, it really underscores that sense of support and encouragement that go on can convey in that context. It's like a little nudge to keep moving forward.
Exactly. So there you have it. We just went through 10 phrasal verbs from English Podcast, day 15. Turn up, run out of, bring up, call off, put up with, take after, look forward to, give up, find out, and go on. And they even had this fun little game in the podcast where they had you match the phrasal verb to its meaning.
Right. A quick way to test your understanding. It's always good to have a little challenge to see if those meanings have really sunk in.
Exactly. And it makes you think about which ones are still confusing, Like, which ones do you need to practice more?
Absolutely. And sometimes just acknowledging those areas where you're still unsure can be a big step towards improving your understanding. It helps you focus your efforts.
Definitely. And the English podcast, they ended by saying, now you're ready to go on mastering phrasal verbs.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so clever.
It is, isn't it? It ties back to the idea of continuing to learn and practice, which is key when it comes to mastering any aspect of language.
For sure. So as you go on, remember that these little phrases can be tricky, but they're also kind of the key to sounding more natural and fluent in English. So really try to pay attention to them as you're listening to native speakers or reading English texts.
Absolutely. It's those subtle nuances of language that can really make a difference in your overall comprehension and expression.
Totally. Okay, so that's a wrap for our deep dive into those essential English phrasal verbs. Hopefully you picked up a few tips and tricks and maybe even feel a little bit more confident tackling them now.
Yeah, and remember, like anything in language learning, practice makes perfect. So go on, keep listening, keep reading, and keep those phrasal verbs rolling off your tongue.
Exactly. And, if you come across any phrasal verbs that are particularly tricky, just remember, you can always send them our way, and we'll try to help you break them down in a future deep dive.
Absolutely. We're always here to help you navigate the twists and turns of the English language.
All right, that's it for us today. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive.
Until next time.
See ya.